Oh yeah, this is
Terran mayo. You got it without the mayo though.
duck poutine, duck confit, cheese curds, cracklings, and egg in there. We're ready for it, huh? Poutine is all freaking gone. The foreheads ate it. She ate it. She ate it. She said it's not the best thing ever, but I mean, you know,
it was
it's food. It's good food.
Satisfying.
Very satisfying.
Nah, it was good.
After bar type food. It's great, right? Thank you, Eddie's or whatever your place is called.
Except for we weren't just at a bar.
Edibles.
We just
Edible.
What? You got a video camera.
Get him.
Yeah. Eddie's don't know hoes, huh? Don't know hoes, huh?
He needs some milk.
He needs some milk. Oh.
Please wait outside.
What's that? Beef bibimbap? Bibimbap?
Bibimbap?
Here.
I said this.
That's a little bit more North African.
Meal was good.
Oh. Yeah.
I
You can look up the menu online to see that.
Liege waffle with
Little less
a
mild.
white chocolate pistachio cream. Ooh. Oh yeah, I forgot it's a white chocolate pistachio rose water. Not cream, rose water. Tagine for them. A fricassee for me. Salmon, oshi, sushi. Look how thick that mug. Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Oh yeah.
I'm so excited. Japanese Neapolitan tomato pasta with thick cut miso.
Japanese Neapolitan pasta with thick cut bacon. So the first restaurant I believe was Saj & Co. Neo-Lebanese, modern Lebanese sandwiches, and I got the Hummy Yummy. So this was a wheat flatbread with I think a white aged cheddar cheese, some roast beef, pickles, tomato, and a little bit of hummus. Also on the side it was served with a little bit of hummus. Like I said, I don't really like pickles, but I don't know what these pickles were, but they're the best pickles that I've ever had. This very bright, deep, salty note that didn't taste like it came out of a jar. It was just had a nice snap to it, and it really mashed up with actually had a pomegranate molasses in there, so salty and sweet. The meat was it was like a good quality bite. I wish I had a little bit more like salt directly on the meat. If the pickles were a little bit more finely cut and in every bite, maybe that would have been better. But nonetheless, this was a very good sandwich. I've never had Lebanese food before, but if it's anything like this, which I know this is kind of a new style, modern style, its own take, but this was very good. Very easy to eat, quaint place, small place. People were very warm and nice. Then we have this Moroccan restaurant where I got a lamb shank with like apricot preserve in it. I do believe it was served in this cast iron skillet with a sauce. Also had a little bit of peas, carrots, sweet potatoes on there. This meat was actually very, very tender, super tender, and the nice sweet note from the apricot was quite nice. I would say again, this is just me personally, I would like a little bit more of the salt factor, but nonetheless this meat was very, very good. My friend got a similar style dish. It was a cast iron serving dish with like chicken in there and like these nicely chopped vegetables and a sauce in it. His was very good. The chicken, the texture of these meats are quite nice, quite nice. But my other friend, she got this one dish that we all agreed was probably the best thing there. It was this phyllo dough stuffed with this chicken, had like maybe cinnamon and raisins in it, so it was a little bit sweet. But the chicken was super tender, and that crunch and the flakiness from that phyllo dough was out of this world. So it's basically a Moroccan meat pie, a chicken pie. Very, very, very good. For the dessert, this one night we went to this hard shell covered ice cream place that also did waffles. My friends got dark chocolate, and all of their ice cream is vanilla soft serve. So they got a dark chocolate um, shell, and I tried it, and it was actually quite good. Dark chocolate. I don't really like dark chocolate. I get things sweet, but this was like great sweetness to it, and the ice cream is very good. I actually should have got ice cream instead of my waffle. The waffle was cool, but the ice cream was much better. And my praline topping, I wasn't really a fan of. I would have should have went for maybe maple or milk chocolate. Randomly stopped at this Japanese bakery. I do believe that's what I'm calling it. I had a cream puff, one vanilla mini cream puff, and I actually work for a food truck that sells cream puffs. And I will say the cream at my place is a little bit better. The one here was a little bit kind of chalky, but the shell at this place was much better. Um, yeah, it kind of had that crunch to it, but a flakiness, a softness to it. Um, it wasn't too sweet, but it held up well to the cream. Then again, but I wish the cream wasn't as chalky and a little bit more sweet. But overall, the shell was much better than all the cream puffs I've had back home. So, this very well known place that has been in a lot of videos, a lot of articles, Japadog, Japanese style hot dogs with a bunch of different unique Japanese toppings. I went with a group of people and got four different ones. I could tell you that we got like a spicy cheese pork one that was actually one of my favorites. That's one that I ordered. I got no mayo. There was seaweed on it. There was like this pork. There was this like spicy cheese. The cheese wasn't that spicy, but it was really creamy and whatnot. And the pork was quite nice. That was really good. And we had a one that had noodles on it, and the one with the I think it was yakisobe noodles was actually one of my favorites too. Like biting into that noodles made it kind of like a creamy note, and then when we hit the snap of the dog, the salty brine of the dog was very endearing. We did have a shrimp tempura dog, but there was no hot dog in it. It was just like a long shrimp tempura one that was. I wish there was actually a hot dog on that one. I feel like that would have been awesome. Maybe if all of the sandwich they had hot dogs with all the toppings on top, even the shrimps of the world, the porks of the world, would make it even better. But this place is really fun, unique. I would go back because they have a lot of options. So Grandview Market had this donut place in there, and I'm not a big donut person, but the people I was with like donuts a lot. And let me tell you, this chocolate donut was the best chocolate donut I've ever had. The texture was superb. It was a cake donut, and the outside had this layer of like kind of this crunch to it that I have not experienced before. It's the perfect amount of crunch, and then the icing and it's a subtle chocolate flavor. It was very good. Everyone was in awe of this donut, and even the regular donut holes were, ooh, let me tell you, so great. And like I say, I don't eat many donuts, but the texture on these things, the sweetness on things were quite nice. Went to Edible at Grandview Market as well and got their duck poutine, French fries, duck gravy, cheese curds, duck confit, crackling, and a fried egg. This was not as good as other poutines I've had, but it was still really good. It was rich and decadent. As you know, with poutine and the gravy, the fries aren't crispy, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for this like big gluttonous bite of food, like soggy and meaty and full. Not necessarily meaty, but full in your mouth, and that had it. The flavor is actually quite nice, but I feel like I've had better poutine in the world. Like at Smokes, might have had a pulled pork poutine that was quite nice, but this is really good. Everyone I was with, it was their first time having poutine. The one woman did say it's not the greatest thing in the world, but this is like a drunk food, and that's what it is, a drunk food. So at Damso, the modern Korean restaurant, I had this 24-hour gamjatang. I believe is how you pronounce it. Is a 24-hour cooked pork bone in a soup. in a broth with potatoes or whatnot. So my thoughts about this, I got this out of recommendation from a friend who had been there previously, and I really thought the meat was really super tender. I really enjoyed eating the meat. It was a little bit hard just to dig into that broth and to find the piece that did have the meat with the chopsticks and the spoon, but nonetheless, I think I got all of the meat. So the meat was the star of the show, I would have to say. The broth was just, it was there. It was warm, and like, you know, during a cold day, I could see it being really great. But as far as flavor wise, I didn't think the broth was too memorable, actually. The potatoes are actually very hard to eat with chopsticks because it's kind of like very firm, and then the the broth on it makes it super slippery. But like I said, the freaking pork was the best part. Super tender, great mouth feel, but the broth was it's not memorable. So we had brunch at Medina, whatever, however you pronounce it. We were really thinking about what this place was. We weren't sure if it was like a French place. My friend was thinking North African, but we all had Liège waffles. I know I pronounced it differently in the other segment, but a Liège waffle, and I had this white chocolate rose water pistachio that I really actually enjoyed. I high key drank it after my waffle was done, and they just had regular waffle. I thought the waffle was pretty good. It wasn't the best Liège waffle I had before, but that rose water just set it apart. That white chocolate stuff, I told you I drank it. It was quite good. So that made the whole experience great. And for my main meal, I had the fricassee, I believe is like short rib, egg, this nice tomato-based sauce, and arugula. It was quite arugula heavy, which is fine. I know some people don't actually like arugula, but I think it's cool. The meat, again, was super tender, great bite, and the sauce was very smooth. It paired up well with everything. I actually got my eggs lightly scrambled, which I thought was great. They had a tagine with like chickpeas, sausage, poached egg, another tomato-based sauce. I think the sauce was different. And theirs was actually quite good as well. Really recommend this place. The service was outstanding. The woman who took care of us was really great. I told her that. She was like, yeah, my parents raised me a certain way, and you know, we just take care of people. And she took care of us, and I would go back to this place. Great, great breakfast for sure. We had to wait actually, so you know it's popping. Goo Garden Salmon Oshi Sushi is probably like the best salmon sushi I've had ever. I usually always go with salmon when I get sushi, and just the look of this, the vibe of this, the color, the thickness of the salmon, great bite. It was just really, really good. I was thoroughly impressed, and I, I want some more, to be honest. The Neapolitan Japanese pasta with thick cut bacon and tomatoes was quite good. I think one of the comments I said is like this sauce is like subtly sweet, very light, almost like a upgraded ketchup. And I hate ketchup, but I still enjoyed this. The thick cut bacon was a great note to it. Had a nice salty bite. The mushrooms were a good bite. There was green pepper in there for some reason. I could do without that. But overall, I really like the chewiness of the thick pasta for sure with that sauce and that bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon, you know. We had a red bean paste filled macaron. I believe it was fried with green tea ice cream on the side. If you don't know about red bean paste, it sounds interesting, but it's actually quite sweet. It's smooth, and the texture of these macarons, where I've actually not really had it before. It was very fun and looked great. It's not overly sweet. It's just like a subtly sweet, and it pairs very well with the green tea ice cream. The green tea ice cream is not that sweet as well. but the red bean paste really goes well with this. Very fun dish. Would definitely try it again. I actually wish there was more than two. Alright, y'all, so that's my food tour of Vancouver. I know this was set up a little bit different. You saw me explain the dishes in 3 different outfits, 3 different locations. But, you know, I really wanted to make this video pretty good. I really was really impressed with the food in Vancouver. Check out some of these places. I really enjoyed everything I had for the most part. Vancouver has lots and lots of food options, and you need to go and explore it. Like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Peace.